Good morning, students. Yes, say your prayer. Thank you. நான் ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்ல ஆசிரியர். நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். Okay, students, take your social science book. Yeah, good. Take page number 135. So today we will start with geography. So already we have completed 2 unit in history and we have completed civics. So the last unit we discussed is the media and democracy. So media, so the fourth pillar of democracy. So we have discussed about the importance of media and the media with the democracy. So the role played by media in the democracy. Okay, so we have discussed about that only in our previous class. So today's class we will move to geography. So there are 2 units in geography. So first unit, resources. So resources. So what is meant by resources? So nothing but so anything which satisfy human needs. So anything so which satisfy human need is called as resources. In this lesson you will learn about the importance of resources and the types of resources, and also based on the availability and renewability, so how the resources are classified, and finally about the resources, how the resources was distributed. Okay, we will learn about these things only in this lesson. Okay, so let us move into the lesson. Learning objectives. So what are you going to learn from this lesson? So first you will know about the definition of resources. Then the other things, so to know the importance of resources, so what was the importance of resources, then to describe the renewable resources. So first the classification, so how the resources are classified. So it was classified based on origin and also based on renewability. You will learn about the renewable resources and the non-renewable resources, and finally you identify the fossil fuel resources. So what is meant by fossil fuel? So you will learn from this lesson. Okay, first know about the importance of resources, then to describe the renewable resources, renewable resources, then to understand the non-renewable resources. So what is meant by renewable and what is meant by non-renewable? Renewable means it can be generated again and again, so it is available in plenty. Non-renewable means so there is a limit. Okay, so you will learn about both renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Then finally about the fossil fuel resources. So to identify the fossil fuel resources. Okay, learning objectives: to know the importance of resources, to describe the renewable resources, then to understand the non-renewable resources, finally to identify the fossil fuel resources. So introduction. So first, a country's social, economic and political strength. So a country's social, economic and political strength lies in the distribution, utilization and conservation of its resources. So a country's social and economic and political strength, it depends on the availability of resources. So how the resources was distributed, how it was utilized, how it was used. So a country's economic, political and social condition, so social strength depends on the resources, so the availability of resources. So anything which can be used for satisfying the human need is called as resources. So what is resources means? Anything which can be used for satisfying the human needs. So anything which can be used for satisfying the human need is called as resources. So natural resources are the resources that exist without action of humankind. So resources can be classified as natural and artificial. So natural resources means so they exist without the action of humankind. So natural resources are obtained. So we get natural resources from the environment, so from the surroundings. So many natural resources are essential for survival. So many natural resources are essential for the human survival. So resources always cannot be consumed in their original form, but they may be processed into usable commodities and usable things. So resources, so which is available in nature, can't be used directly by the human beings. So they should be processed properly and then converted into commodities and usable product. Okay, so a country's social, economic, and political strength depends on the distribution, utilization, and conservation of its resources. So of the country's resources. So anything, any material, so anyone, so anything which can be used for satisfying the human need is called as resources. So natural resources are the resources that exist, so that are available without the action of humankind. So natural resources are the resources which exist, which is available without the action of human beings. So natural resources are obtained from environment. So many natural resources are essential for human survival. So we depend on our life, so depend on these resources only. So resources always cannot be consumed in their original form. So they should be processed properly and converted them to usable commodities and usable things. Importance of resources. So natural resources satisfy the daily needs of human beings. So natural resources so satisfy so our daily needs, so such as food, clothing, and shelter. So we get food from agri-field, so that is an important resource. Then cloth, then shelter. So all these resources we get naturally. So natural resources also contribute immensely to boost up nation's economy. So natural resources so contribute a lot. To encourage nation's economy, to boost up nation's economy. So natural resources satisfy the daily needs of humans, such as they provide food, cloth, and shelter. So the basic needs. So we get only from the nature. Okay, so natural resources also contribute immensely, so in large amount, so to boost up a nation's economy. So how are natural resources classified? So first, based on origin, it is classified as biotic resources and abiotic resources. So biotic means so if it originates due to the activities of living organisms. So it includes the living organisms. Abiotic, so non-living factors. Then based on renewability, it is classified as renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay, so natural resources can be classified so on the basis of origin. Biotic resources and abiotic resources, but based on the renewability. So renewability means so based on the availability, so or based on the regeneration capacity. So renewable resources, non-renewable resources. So renewable resources means it can be regenerated again and again. Non-renewable, so there is a particular limit. So there is a limit for those resources. So once consumed means it cannot be replaced. Or it takes millions of years again to form. Okay, so that is non-renewability. So that is called as non-renewable resources. Okay, so first, so on the basis of origin, resources may be classified into biotic resources and abiotic resources. So first, what is meant by biotic resources? Biotic resources are found in the biosphere, which are obtained from living and organic materials. So biosphere, so one layer of earth, so which includes the living organisms. So earth is divided as atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, then lithosphere. So we'll learn about them in detail in our higher classes. So biosphere means so the layer which includes the living layer. So the layer which covers the living species of the earth. So the biotic resources are found in the biosphere, which are obtained from living and organic materials. So biotic resources, it includes forest, crop, birds, animals, fishes, man, and materials that can be obtained from them. So fossil fuels, so such as coal and petroleum, are also included in this category because they are formed from decayed organic matter. So coal and petroleum, so they are included as biotic resources. So because they are formed from decayed organic matter. So millions of years ago, so the death and decayed organisms, so which was beneath the earth's surface, so due to high pressure and heat, is converted into coal and petroleum. Okay, so biotic resources are found in the biosphere, which are obtained from living and organic matters. It includes forest, crop, birds, animals, fishes, man, and materials that can be obtained from them. So materials which can be obtained from forest, crop, birds, animals, etc. So fossil fuels, so such as coal and petroleum, so they are also included in biotic resources because they are obtained, so they are formed from the decayed organic matter. Then abiotic resources. So abiotic resources are the non-living part of an environment. So biotic means it includes the living part, so living and organic materials. Abiotic, it includes the non-living parts of an environment. So examples of abiotic resources include land, water, air, sunlight, and heavy metals, including ores such as gold, iron, copper, silver, etc. So abiotic resources includes land, water, air, sunlight, and also metals. So ores, so like gold, iron, copper, silver, etc. That is the minerals. So biotic resources, it includes the living and organic materials, so such as forest, crop, birds, animals, fishes, and also the fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum. Abiotic, it includes the non-living part. So that is the non-living factors like land, water, air, sunlight, and also gold, iron, copper, silver, etc. So these are abiotic resources. Okay, va? So, but on the basis of renewability, the resources can be classified into two types: so renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So based on origin, it is classified as biotic resources and abiotic. And based on the renewability, so resources can be divided into two types. They are renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Okay, so today's class we will discuss about the renewable resources. So what is meant by renewable resources and example for renewable resources. Okay, first, renewable resources. A renewable resources is a resource which can be used repeatedly and replaced naturally. So renewable resources means it can be, the resources can be used again and again. It can be used repeatedly, and it can be replaced in natural method, so by naturally. So natural renewable resources harvested and used rationally will not produce pollution. So renewable resources will not produce pollution. So they are non-pollutant. The use of renewable resources and energy resources is increasing worldwide. So nowadays the use of renewable resources and energy source is increasing worldwide. So because they are not harming the environment, so they are not causing pollution. Okay, so renewable resources, so they can be used repeatedly and replaced naturally. So they are harvested, so they are used rationally and will not produce pollution. Okay, so nowadays the use of renewable resources in worldwide is increasing. So example for renewable resources were solar energy, wind energy, and hydropower. So solar energy, wind energy, and hydropower. So first is solar energy. So the sun produces energy in the form of heat and light. So the sun, it is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. So the sun produces energy in the form of heat and light. So solar energy is not harmful to the environment. So because our earth, so receiving the solar energy so regularly, so it does not harms the environment. So photovoltaic devices are solar cells which is used that convert directly solar energy into electric current. Okay, so the photovoltaic devices are solar cells. So you have noticed the solar panels, so in many places, so especially in the industries. Okay, and also in some of the houses, so they used the photovoltaic devices or solar cells. So they directly convert solar energy into electricity. Individual solar cell in group panel can perform small applications from charging calculator, watch batteries to large such as power residential dwellings. Okay, so you have seen so some calculators. So they never require a battery or a cell. So they charge themselves by using the solar energy, and also some watch batteries. So solar energy is applicable from small places too, and also solar energy is used in resident also, sometimes in industrial field also. So they use the solar energy. So photovoltaic power plants and concentrating solar power plants are the largest solar application covering acres. Okay, so photovoltaic power plant. So they convert solar energy into electricity, so by using photovoltaic cells or by concentrating the solar powers. Okay, so India, China, Japan, Italy, and states of America are major utilizers of solar energy in the world. So India, China, Japan, Italy, and America, so United States of America. So they are the major utilizers of the solar energy in the world. Okay, so sun produces energy in the form of heat and light. So they convert, so they use the photovoltaic devices and the solar cells, so to convert solar energy into electricity. It is applicable in small field too and also to larger area. Okay va? So in Tamil Nadu, so Kamudi, so a place situated in Ramanathapuram district in Tamil Nadu. Yes, so Kamudi solar power project, one of the largest solar power project in the world. Yes, so Kamudi, so one of the important place in Ramanathapuram district in Tamil Nadu. So there we have the largest solar power project in the world. It was completed on 21st September 2016. The investment of this project, so the investment of Kamudi solar power project is 4,550 crores. So the investment, so the money invested in this project is 4,550 crores. Then the installed capacity of this project is 648 megawatts. So from the Kamudi solar power plant, so we get 648 megawatt electricity. Okay, so one of the largest solar power project in the world. Then wind energy. So wind power is clean since wind turbines, so turbine, so the instrument which is used to produce electricity. So we need to rotate the turbine. So if the turbine rotate means it generates electricity. So we get electricity through turbine only. Okay, so wind power is clean energy since wind turbines does not produce any emission. In recent years, wind energy has become one of the most economical and renewable energy technology. So in recent days, so wind energy so become one of the most economical and renewable energy technology. So the classic Dutch windmill harnessed the wind energy hundreds of years ago. So the classic Dutch windmill, so it was constructed so hundreds of years ago. It is still producing energy. So it is still producing electricity. So modern wind turbines with 3 blades dot the landscape today, turning wind into electricity. So modern wind turbines, so which consist of 3 blades. You can see in this picture, and also you have noticed in many region. So especially in so Kanyakumari. So Kanyakumari, and also in our region, if you go to so Palladam, Tirupur district and all, you can see the turbines. So the wind turbines. Okay, so the modern wind turbines with 3 blades dot the landscape today, turning wind into electricity. So the major wind energy producing countries are United States, China, Germany, Spain, India, United Kingdom, Canada and Brazil. Okay, so the wind energy, so it is a clean energy since the wind turbines does not produce any emissions. So they do not produce any emissions. So nowadays it became one of the most economical and renewable energy technology. So the major wind farms in India. So in India, so in Tamil Nadu, in Kanyakumari districts, so there is a wind farm in Muppandal. So Muppandal, which is located in Kanyakumari district. So the installed capacity is 1,500 megawatts. In Rajasthan, so in Jaisalmer, so there have a so 1,064 megawatt capacity of wind farm. In Maharashtra, so we have Brahmanwell wind farm, which is in Dhule district. So they produce so 528 megawatt electricity. Okay, so in India, so we have some major wind farms. So we have the major wind farm in Kanyakumari, so that is in Muppandal, so the famous one. Okay, so the installed capacity, so they produce, so the Muppandal wind farm so produce the electricity of 1,500 megawatt. Then third one, hydropower. So water, it is considered as a great source of energy. So water is considered as a great source of energy. At present, water is used for producing hydroelectric power. So water is used for producing hydroelectric power. So hydroelectricity is generated from moving water with a high velocity and great falls with the help of turbines and dynamos. So how you produce electricity with the help of water? You have noticed the dams, so which was constructed across the river. So they were used to store the water. So not only for storing the water, and also they were used to produce generate electricity. So the stored water, so when opened means it move with a great velocity. So the stored water when released Yeah, so when released out means it move with a great force and velocity. Yeah, so that force and velocity is used to rotate the turbine and the dynamos, which in turn generate electricity. Okay, wow. So hydroelectricity power. So it is the cheapest and the most versatile source of energy out of all the known energy. So hydroelectricity, it is the cheapest and the most versatile, so most widely used source of energy when compared to other source of energy. Yeah. So hydroelectric power is a renewable resources. Yeah. So hydroelectric power, it is a renewable resources. Yeah. So China, Canada, Brazil, USA, Russia, India, Norway, and Japan. So the some of the countries producing the hydroelectricity. So China, it is the largest producer of hydroelectricity. Yeah. So hydropower. So the power generated with the help of running water. Okay, so hydroelectricity is generated from moving water with a high velocity and great force with the help of turbines and dynamos. So hydroelectricity power, the cheapest and the most versatile source of energy out of all the known energy. So hydroelectric power is a renewable resources. So China, Canada, Brazil, USA, Russia, India, Norway, Japan. So these some countries producing the hydroelectricity. So China is the largest producer of hydroelectricity. So some of the hydroelectric project in India. So first in Uttarakhand, so a state in North India. So there they constructed a dam called as Tehri Dam. So Tehri Dam, so which was built across the river Tehri. Okay, so the installed capacity is 2,400 megawatt. Next it was in Andhra Pradesh. So they constructed the Sri Salem Dam. So Sri Salem Dam. So the installed capacity is 1,670 megawatts. Okay, in Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, see in Andhra Pradesh, so 960 megawatt. Then Sardar Sarovar Dam, so which is in Gujarat, so it produces so 1,450 megawatt. So like that, so there are a lot of dam in India. So the hydroelectric project. So in Tamil Nadu, so we have Mettur Dam. So which was built across the river Kaveri. It produces so 120 megawatt of electricity. So in India, so we have producing the electricity so through this hydroelectric project. So various dams are constructed. But in world level, so China so stand first. So they constructed a dam, so 3 Georges Dam, so 3 big dams along the river Yangtze. So Yangtze, one of the river, so that is running in China. Okay, so 3 Georges Dam. So Georges means so nothing but so water body running between 2 solid surface or 2 rock surfaces. Okay, so they constructed, so the Chinese so constructed 3 dams across the river Yangtze, and the installed capacity of this dam was 22,500 megawatt. So the Yangtze River, in the Yangtze River, so the Chinese constructed 3 Georges Dam. So the installed capacity of this project was 22,500 megawatts. So next was, it was constructed in Brazil and Paraguay. So was constructed by the 2 countries, Brazil and Paraguay, so on the river Parana. So the name of the project is called as Itaipu Dam. So the installed capacity is 14,000 megawatt. Then again in China, it was in the Jinsha River, they constructed Jilodu Dam, so 13,860 megawatt. Then in Venezuela, so a country, so in the river Caroni, they constructed Guri Dam, so the project name. The installed capacity is 10,235 megawatt. Then again in Brazil, on the river Tocantins, they constructed Tucuri Dam. So the installed capacity is 8,370 megawatt. So but if you take India, so in Uttarakhand they constructed the Tehri Dam. So the installed capacity is just 2,400 megawatt. But if you take Tamil Nadu, so the hydroelectric project is constructed. So the hydroelectric project is took place in many rivers. But the major one is the Mettur Dam. So the installed capacity is 120 megawatt. Okay, students, so today's class we have discussed about the resources. So the definition of resources, then the importance of resources, then how the resources are classified. So based on the origin, it is classified as biotic and abiotic resources. So biotic means it includes the living organisms and living material. Then abiotic means it includes the non-living factors, so like land, water, air, and also minerals. Then we discussed about the how the resources are classified based on the renewability. Yeah. So first renewable and non-renewable. In today's class, we discussed about renewable resources. Yes, renewable resources means that can be used repeatedly and replaced naturally. Yes, example, solar energy, wind energy, and hydropower. Yeah, so these things, so they do not harm the environment. So they are non-pollutant. Yeah. So nowadays, so the world countries are preferring to use the renewable resources. Okay, wow. Okay, students. So take your book. Yeah, take page number 136. Textbook reading. So read the heading biotic resources and abiotic resources. Then homework. So take page number 144. Fifth barometer. Answer the following. First question and third question. So first define resources. Answer take page number 135. Yeah. So first heading introduction. Third line. Anything which can be used for satisfying the human needs is called resources. So that is the answer for first question. Then third question. What are the major utilizers of solar energy in the world? So take page number 136. Yeah, see the heading solar energy. In that, so the last two line. India, China, Japan, Italy, and States of America are major utilizers of solar energy in the world. So that is the answer for so third question. So write it in your homework note and read it well. Okay, ma? So if you have any doubt in this lesson, so please contact me. So thank you, students. Have a nice day.